Johanna. Johanna.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have finally got the Nameless art journal flip through for you guys. This has taken me a little bit longer than what I wanted it to, but I have been using this art journal over the last couple of months. I haven't had a ton of time to spend playing in here, but that's essentially what it has been for me, just a little place to play and to try out some different sort of styles and techniques and stuff. If you're not familiar with what the Nameless art journal is, it was a series that I had on my YouTube channel where I showed you how you can make a journal just like this, and then how to make all the inside pages, bind it, add the charms, and then also some different ideas and concepts for using the inside pages. The ideas behind actually using the journal was to incorporate vintage photos, and there were some printables and stuff that I had if you didn't have your own vintage photos. And yeah, so if you would like to learn more about the whole series, and you can do it at any time if you haven't done it yet, I'll link it down below in the description box, and you can go back to the beginning and sort of see what it's all about. As I said, today's video is just a flip through of what I've done in mine, and I just wanted to say that the journal is pretty much finished, but it's not quite finished. I am still playing in here, and there are still some pages in here that I would definitely like to keep layering more on top of and adding more things to. So it's not 100% finished, but I really did want to get this flip through up for you guys so you can see what I've done. It's been a while since I finished the series, and so yeah, I wanted to get this sort of conclusion video up, even though I am still playing in this art journal. So I'm going to flip through fairly quickly. I have really enjoyed using this journal as sort of like, it's sort of been a bit of an exercise in restraint for me, because if you watch my channel you know that I'm really an eclectic person with my art. I like to use lots of colour, I like to use lots of fun cutesy vintage imagery and stuff like that. I do really like all things vintage, but this particular book has been very much so on the grungy side, and so I've tried to really let the paper and all the tea staining and spraying and stuff that I did on the actual original pages speak for themselves somewhat. And so I've tried not to go too overboard. I haven't filled up every page like I usually do. I usually cram pack every single page as much as I can, but I've tried to be a little bit more minimal. So I've just done a lot of collage, a lot of painting, some spraying, some stamping, and yeah, so I'm not going to spend too long on each page, but I've really tried to use up a lot of random scrappy bits and pieces of paper that I had. So lots of like packaging and just scraps that you sort of have trouble using up sometimes, things that might usually get thrown away. So I've got like some corrugated cardboard here, I've done some painting, and I've really enjoyed doing like dry brushing so that you have some interesting effects on the paper. I've used little scraps of paper that I felt sort of went with photos that I used. So this photo is a picture of all the cattle, or I think it's sheep, out on the road, and I had this really cute little scrap of paper that had some farm animals, and so I've done stuff like that on each page. In the class, or in the series, we talked a bit about sort of using our intuition and our subconscious mind to just pull things into the page that we just had this feeling to do. So that's sort of what I've done with symbolism, like I said over here with the farm animals, just on each page any sort of colours or patterns or imagery or symbols that I felt were relative to the photo, which is hopefully the focal point of each page. And I really haven't done anything that's that impressive with techniques. I really haven't. I've just smudged bits of paint here and there. I really wanted it to look quite shabby and distressed, so I've just really played around with paints and pens and inks and stuff like that. Over here I rubbed some distress ink over the top of this page, and this really cool pretty floral pattern came through because on the back side there's a piece of this embossed card that I glued onto this page, so by rubbing on this page I got the same impression, which I thought was really cool. So same sort of thing with the paints and the distress stains. I've done some stenciling, layering. I really have enjoyed in this book using some tracing paper, so I have tracing paper in blue, and I've liked using different sorts of transparent papers over the top, so here as well, just to sort of give some layers to each page. This is definitely a page where I feel like it's not quite finished, but I just haven't really found the thing that I wanted to add to it yet, so maybe some painting or some drawing or something over here. I just sort of carried on the floral patterns with a little pen, added a little scrap of doily underneath, just done some layering. This is probably another page that I feel like isn't quite finished. I feel like I should definitely, I don't know, add more collage or something to this page to sort of blend all the layers of papers together. But I think this is such a cute little photo, and so I've tried to add sort of some playful papers and stuff in here. This page is one that I've collaged a couple of different vintage photos onto one. So there's a picture of this happy couple, a house here which has some annotations on it, and this little sort of still life picture with the flowers, which is really cute. And all of this sewing that was done before I used the journal. So before we actually bound the journal, we did some sewing onto all the pages to make it look a little bit interesting and to give it some texture. For this page, I've done all the same things with collaging and paints. To get these lined impressions, I just used that corrugated cardboard packaging and just stamped with paint over the page, and I really like how that turned out. And there's some more of that corrugated cardboard packaging. So I like how this sort of, it reminds me of a house, I guess, or like shed buildings. And I've got this imagery from a book here, which I laid underneath this transparent brown paper just to tone down like the bright colours in it. And then there's just this picture of a garden and just little bits of vintage ephemera just to add some interest. And then I've also stapled on this little milk cap thing with stapler. And yeah, so what I tried to do was be very selective about what colours I introduced into this book. I wanted it to look vintage, so usually I would really like the bright colours in this image, but because of the sort of theme of this book, I wanted to tone it down and just keep the colour palette really neutral. This photo actually just tucks into this pocket here, which is like a little belly band style pocket. And again, this page probably isn't quite done either, but yeah, I'm kind of learning when to stop, and so I always feel tempted to just keep going, keep adding. But I think there's some beauty in just leaving it a little bit plainer in this book. So more collage and painting over here. This really cool old photo, and then again I've got some more of that embossed cardboard painting and stuff to blend all the layers together. And I do like having some of that tea dyed paper or coffee dyed paper showing through as well. And same sort of things over here. This page, I don't know, I liked the simplicity of this, but I feel like definitely could add more to it. On this page I did some messy stenciling, and then I just went in with a pen and just sort of traced over some of the shapes, and I smeared some paint around. And I like how the stenciling sort of can transfer over to the next page if you let it almost dry and then close it. I like how you can get those shapes to sort of mirror each other but less intensely on this page. And this is actually just some baking paper that was in the tea dyeing process, so just utilised some of that on the page just to incorporate some different textures. So this page is very unfinished, I feel like, although the reason why I haven't added much to it is because I really liked the dyeing that I had gotten on this page when I originally made it. So I just added some spray to this and a little bit of collaging and layering behind the photo. But yeah, I don't know, I don't want to cover all of this up because I feel like it just goes with the sort of vintage distressed effects that I wanted to try in this book. I like the soft blues of this paint. I feel like I might want to add some contrasting colour, maybe like black or something to this page. But I don't know, or maybe like some words or something. But yeah, so there's that page. I just think this picture is so sweet. Some more collaging and some little messy pen lines and stuff, and using the different types of papers to get different effects and just tearing the edges. And again, here's that blue tracing paper, and I like putting the tracing paper over the top of a bunch of collage or over the top of photos because it softens it and you can still see through it. Just sort of like encases the work you've done underneath, which I think is a really cool effect. Again, another super minimal page with collaging. Just use various bits of packaging and papers, like scraps of papers and some vintage ephemera. So nice yellowy tones in this one. And then little messy scribbly lines. This cute little picture of the baby, I wanted to add some sort of baby related stuff. So this is vintage wrapping paper, which is super sweet. And then there's also some music paper, and I just stapled on one of these alphabet transparent things. I don't know, I just wanted to add something a little bit interesting to the page. And I've just done like some cream painting, just really messy over the page as well. This was a page that had a process video. I was just trying to jam pack a bunch of different techniques into this video. So we did like the textured wood grain effect here. We did some tape and some sandpaper. What else did we do? We made a stencil with some embossed card, and so we just used it as like a stamp, sorry, not a stencil. And yeah, so that's part of the series if you want to go back and take a look. Another page just with some collaging, and again, probably could come back to this page, but I really liked how some of this spray had come through the shape of the doily. So I don't know, I just thought that was kind of interesting, but I feel like I could put something over here as well. Come back to that. More collaging on this page. Just rubbed some Distress inks over the top. A really sweet photo of mama and little babies there. Well, I'm assuming it's a mum. Just done some interesting sort of layering of papers, some paints, and again with the little dots. And so I feel like to make the whole book look cohesive as one book, I felt like it really helped to use a really neutral, or sort of a very limited colour palette. So I used lots of creams, lots of light blues, and then like browns. Not much other colours, maybe like little pops of red pen and stuff. Also incorporating the same sort of little doodles if I felt like doing like little messy scribbles and stuff. I have done little messy scribbly lines. This is like a vintage library card pocket. This page has this picture of the snow, and this music paper here actually talks about summer, but I just felt like that was kind of interesting to put beside each other. And then in this little panel here where I did some messy painting, I just also used the packaging to create those liney marks, and I think I also scratched into it a little bit. These pages are unfinished, hardly done anything on those ones. I really liked these pictures of the mum and her 3 kids, because obviously I have 3 kids, and to me it looks like she has 2 little boys and a little girl, and I just thought it was super sweet. So I guess this was sort of symbolic of my own motherhood journey. I put 3 here for 3 kids. I just did a little bit of doodling and layering and all the same sort of thing on that page. This is another page. I did a process video on this page too. That was a part of the series if you want to go and check that one out. So this page I just really jam-packed with papers and just made it really a big collage of interesting bits and pieces, and I really like how this page turned out. And these are 3 real vintage photos, and these ones are Tim Holtz, so they're not real. This photo is quite nice too, to me. Again, it looks like father and son, and so I just did some collage behind it. And even though this page is also quite plain, I'm really enjoying that look. Did some scribbly lines on this one over the top of the collaging, and again, this is another piece of tracing paper, and I really like how that sort of mutes down whatever's underneath. So I did the same thing on the next page, only I wanted to kind of leave it open and not glue it down. So you can actually, I don't really have anything to tuck under there, but you can actually sort of, I didn't glue it over the top of the photo, so it kind of looks like it's just been sort of torn open there. And then again, more collaging down the other page there. I'm pretty sure this page was also a part of the series, a process video that I did in the series. And yeah, I really like how this page turned out. I like how the black paint really contrasts. I put these 2 photos beside each other because obviously they both have horses in them, and then I used more of that scrap paper that had the farm animals in it. And I like how all of the threads from the sewing are so long and sort of just hang over the page and make it look a little bit more shabby and distressed. Same sort of thing with this page. I didn't glue this ephemera down because I thought that both the front and back side of it were cool, so I just stapled it along the top. Just done some messy painting, and I really like how, again with the transparent papers, I've just been able to mute down the colours of this book page. So this book page with the little boy I thought was sweet to put with this photo, And yeah, just to make it look a little bit more vintage, I just laid this brown paper over the top. Same sort of thing, this page, which I feel like I'll probably come back to this page as well. All the same sorts of things. So I like having that balance of filling a page and then having like panels that I've left bare, so you can actually just see the original distressed sort of dyeing techniques that were achieved in the paper itself, because I didn't want to cover up all of the beautiful tea dyed paper and the sprays that we did. This page I feel is definitely not finished. I left this so that I could do something underneath as well. I don't know how I feel about this page. This page I feel like is a bit confused. Like I feel like there's too many focal points. My eyes want to look at all of these places, and it's sort of, yeah, for me a little bit harder to look at than some of the other pages just compositionally, but that's okay. I can always add more and more layers to it until I'm happy with it. I always wanted the photos to be the main focal point, but I do like how this looks. It's quite interesting, I think, with this brown paper over the top, but maybe it's sort of, I don't know, this area needs to be better blended together or something. This page is unfinished. Then I've got these really sweet pictures here of, I guess, dads and their kids, and so I put them again on the same pages, but it's like side by side. Just did some little drawing here with pen and just did some really simple little flower shapes, which, like I said before, I've repeated the same sort of doodles across throughout the whole book just to make it all look really cohesive. This is more of that baking paper. This is another page that I don't know if I should leave it the way it is. I kind of like the simplicity of it. It's very different from what I usually do, and I think I've just been really enjoying that minimalistic, well, for me anyway. For some people it may not be, but for me it's very minimal. I like all the different effects I've achieved with the spray here. I think towards the back there are more pages that I felt like were unfinished, but as I said, I just wanted to show you where I'm sort of at with. I can always show you what they look like when they're finished. This was from an old envelope, and I liked the way it sort of framed the picture, so I just added it there, and again just layered up all the different types of papers across the page. It's a little bit of spraying and stuff. This page, again, same sort of thing, layering different papers. Did some napkin decoupage underneath there. I didn't really like the way it turned out that much. I felt like it looked a bit modern. I don't know, it just didn't really turn out the way that I envisioned it to, so I ended up covering it up. So I just put a bunch of different vintage ephemera and paints and stuff on the page, and maybe it's not finished, but I like the way that it's looking at the moment. There's this page, again another one of those milk little chip things, so staple that to the edge of the page, and more vintage ephemera and just layering of papers. I like this page. I like how soft the blue looks. I don't know, it's so simple, but it's just, I don't know, I like it. So these two pictures were found together, and so they sort of go together, and so I just put them side by side, and you can see I've tried to do that throughout the whole book as well, just match or pair pictures together because they've got something in common. I feel like because they're such, they don't really have anything that's really like drawing you in because they're not people. I just wanted them to be the focal point of the page. Then at the last couple of pages now, I have really done hardly anything to this page. I've just done some messy lines, some little bit of dots down the side there, so this page isn't finished. And then on the back I decided to put another one of those doily prints, so there's one on the front and there's one on the back. And yeah, that's pretty much my art journal so far. As I said, I'm still playing in here, so it's not quite done, and I wanted to experiment a little bit more with different distressing techniques to try and make everything look really aged, and I wanted to give you guys an update with where it's at. I've really enjoyed this process and just trying different techniques and getting myself a bit out of my own comfort zone to refrain from using lots of bright colours and happy sort of imagery, and yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this series. Many of you have shared your art journal pages on Instagram using the hashtag, and I've really enjoyed seeing what you guys have done. I hope you guys are all having a really great day. As I said, I'll link down below the Nameless art journal series if you want to go back and see what it's all about. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye.